If the Wu-Sabat culture admits three genders in human beings, men, women, and people who feel estranged to their original gender, can we consider that transgender people are right to get surgery and so on? This is what I'm saying. It's not about us considering, it's what that is a lot of people don't understand or overstand or have the knowledge of what's going on. And we don't we don't admit three genders in the sense of, okay, you got different types of beings. When you say gender, the way we think about gender, a lot of the times here people think of gender like using sexual organs. That's what they consider to be gender. Like you have a male, you have male organs, so you're considered to be male as a in gender, and if you have female organs, sexual organs, you're considered to be female. But then you have, if you really start to analyze and study the organs, you have both. Males have what females have, and females have what male have genetically to a certain degree. It's just that one doesn't use certain aspects because, for example, the male, the Y is a defected X. So the female has an XX, which is complete. We have an X and then a maimed X, which becomes a Y. So we have XY, or the Y makes the male. So you have other genders that are, instead of just XX and XY, you have XYX, or you have YXY. These are your hermaphrodites and hermaphrodites. Then you have genders that are on a level where they don't have physical genitals or physical organs in the way that we perceive them on this physical realm. So they're still genders that are non-physical in the way we see things in the physical realm. You see, so what we're saying is that the confusion comes in where you may be physically a male in appearance, but will have a female spirit. So the other parts of you are spirit, but they're feminine or female. The same way you may have a female physically looks like what we call a female because of the way they look in appearance, but they also have a male spirit. And when you start to go higher, this is what we call having a double resonance or a double frequency. Right? You can read a lot about this in the Golden Children, part of that, as well as Existence, How and Why. And what we're basically saying is that because of the confusion of the world not teaching or knowing about the fact that, remember, the Western world or the monotheistic religions, they don't really go into detail and break things down. They just see things like black and white based on basic distorted information. So they would have no explanation for certain genders on the planet. And there are beings like, when I say beings, not necessarily humanoid, like, you know, jellyfish and all types of creatures that don't follow or have the same genetic makeup as we do. But what the confusion comes in when someone is physically a male, but they have a female spirit. So how they feel on the inside and everything in terms of how their internal being is female. So even though they're male in appearance, they will say to themselves, everything about me is a female. But we're saying, because they don't understand it, they would then maybe try to change their physical appearance through plastic surgery and so on and so forth to look like a female on the outside so that it matches how they feel and behave on the inside. And that is the same the other way around too, where You know, you may be, you know, the other way where you're a female, but you have a male spirit, and you want to then match your physical with how you feel inside. So you see some people be like, I'm a tomboy, or they're acting like, but then that's not enough. Then it goes further and further. So we're saying, when you say transgender, that's a whole, I mean, that term is used in so many different ways, because, yeah, so we don't support the part you're saying, our right to get surgery, because that's, the surgery brings more issues and problems, because in order to maintain that, you have to take so many pills and so many things that it doesn't really change you. You know, you are who you are, you know. So, but again, we're not here to give medical advice or anything like that, so disclaimer. We're just breaking down the knowledge and the information as to why some people, you know, may go and do surgery, etc., because they don't fully understand what's going on spiritually. Now, those beings are designed that way for a reason, because these are the beings that, because they had that double resonance or double frequency, they were able to be used for things like opening gateways and opening portals and things, because when the time comes, they will be required for that. But they may not know that until they learn this information through Wu-Sabat, to realize there's nothing wrong with you being who you are, you see. All right.